Mumbai, January 23, 1966. It is just after noon, and the city's famed winter haze has settled over Santa Cruz Airport. An Air India Boeing 707 named Kanchenjunga after the world's third tallest mountain sits gleaming on the tarmac. Flight AI-171 is about to embark on a journey from Bombay to London, via Delhi, Beirut, and Geneva. It's a routine departure, but nothing about what would happen next would be routine. On board are 80 passengers and 8 crew, business executives, diplomats, Indian government scientists headed abroad for conferences, and several tourists hoping to experience Europe in winter. Among them is a name that would become forever entangled with the fate of this flight of indomitable Homi, respected physicist, and the father of India's nuclear program. He settles into his first-class seat, unaware this flight would never reach its ultimate destination. At 1:50 p.m., the 4 jet engines roar to life and the aircraft climbs, banking northwest over the Arabian Sea, heading for its first stop in Delhi. 2 hours later, the plane lands smoothly. Passengers disembark and others board. The night brings cooler air, but the crew carry on with the practiced confidence that comes from countless uneventful flights. The following day, January 24th, Air India 171 departs from Beirut. The Mediterranean sunlight glints on its wings as it charts a smooth course toward Geneva. Veteran Captain J.T. D'Souza is at the controls, a man known for his attention to detail and calm demeanor even when flying over the treacherous heights of the Alps, which rise miles below the Boeing's fuselage. At 7 a.m. local time, the first communication with Geneva Air Traffic Control. D'Souza reports Kanchenjunga on schedule, descending to 19,000 feet, echoing updates as routine as the ticking of a clock. Amidst the hum of the engines, some passengers gaze out at vistas of white summits and blue sky, unaware of how rapidly the landscape below will shift from breathtaking to catastrophic. Geneva's control tower instructs Flight 171 to descend further, preparing for approach. Radar tracks the aircraft as it arcs toward Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in the Alps. But in the crucial moments leading up to final descent, a series of miscommunications and errors collides with fate. The controller, assuming the Boeing is over the correct location, clears it to descend unaware that the aircraft is roughly 9 miles off course, its path now dangerously aligned with the treacherous slopes of Mont Blanc. Without modern GPS or terrain awareness systems, flight crews of the era rely on radio beacons, bearings, and cockpit calculations methods subject to the fog of uncertainty when weather, stress, and marginal signals converge. The Kanchenjunga, enveloped in thick cloud, is flying blind into a mountainside. At 8:02 a.m., above the quiet alpine hamlet of Les Bous, locals hear a deep, thunderous rumble, an unfamiliar sound that seems to shatter the stillness. In seconds, Air India 171 slams into the southwest face of Mont Blanc, 15,000 feet up. The impact is instant and devastating, obliterating the aircraft on contact. The explosion echoes down icy slopes, and a column of smoke billows against the snowy sky. In Geneva's control tower, anxious calls to 171 go unanswered. News filters slowly to officials, and soon, rescue teams, alpinists, mountain police, and scientists scramble into action. But the magnitude of disaster quickly becomes clear. Reaching the site on foot, rescuers find nothing but fragments, shattered fuselage draped over ice, suitcases embedded in snowdrifts, documents fluttering on the wind. There are no survivors. News spreads rapidly, first through Europe, then to India. The world is stunned, but nowhere is grief sharper than in the Indian scientific community. Among the lost are several of India's top nuclear scientists, including Homi Bhabha himself. The potential impact is almost unimaginable. Bhabha, a visionary and diplomat, had not only spearheaded India's nuclear ambitions, but negotiated on India's behalf at the highest circles of world science. The tragedy leaves behind not only a grieving nation, but also an urgent quest for answers. Investigators painstakingly reconstruct the final minutes of Flight 171's journey, charting both technical failures and flaws in communication between pilots and controllers. The geography of the Alps, with its steep vertical drops and unpredictable weather, has long made it a treacherous air corridor, one that, in the crash of AI-171, claimed its most high-profile victims yet. Speculation soon arises regarding the crash's cause. Was it simply human error, miscalculation in fog, a misheard radio coordinate, or, as some would theorize in later years, could sabotage or foul play have factored in, given the importance of the passengers? Official investigations find no evidence of explosives, no proof of conspiracy. The conclusion is that a toxic blend of navigational misunderstanding, insufficient radar coverage, and unlucky weather conspired to bring down the In the years that follow, pieces of the aircraft and personal effects continue to surface on Mont Blanc's smelting glaciers, mute reminders of a journey abruptly ended. The Kanchenjunga disaster would spur international reviews of air traffic protocols, especially in mountain corridors, and remains enshrined in aviation history as a lesson in the deadly consequences of miscommunication. On the wind-swept slopes of Mont Blanc, the site is marked with a plaque bearing the names of the lost, their legacy, carried not only in stone but in new procedures designed to keep others safe in the skies above. And though Homi Bhabha's work would remain unfinished, his vision lives on in the minds of those who dream of progress, and in the memory of a flight that vanished into cloud, leaving questions and sorrow on its wake.